Я твой работник.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Lidosta Riga airport update today. Today we're gonna start with a whole bunch of news stuff because I've been forgetting to tell you about some cool news things that have been happening here at Riga for like the past 3 updates or so, which I apologize for because I've just forgotten. I've seen them and I wanted to share with them in the airport update and I've forgotten. So we're gonna start with the first thing is that Riga Airport has recently rebranded, which is a little bit of an interesting move. It was for their 50th anniversary. So now the logo is green. The logo on the thumbnail is now the current logo that the Riga Airport uses. So that's pretty interesting right there. So yeah, it's for sustainability and stuff. Latvia prides itself on being a quite sustainable country. And I guess that's reflected with their national airline, airBaltic, which is the greenest airline in Europe and has the youngest fleet out of any airline in Europe. So that's kind of cool right there. But yeah, so that's the new logo for the airport. In other news, FlyDubai has announced service to Riga 3 times weekly on the 737 starting in October of this year. So they'll compete with airBaltic on the Riga to Dubai route. So that's pretty exciting right there. So glad to see another airline joining forces here at Riga. So there's been quite a lot recently starting service to Riga. So that's pretty cool that this airport has been growing a whole lot because it's definitely died down a whole lot. It was quite dead because of the pandemic, but definitely looks like it is recovering well. So glad to see a new airline in FlyDubai coming here. But now we'll begin our airport update right here. So we will begin with the Ryanair 737-800 back there. This one arrived in from Stockholm, Sweden, and you'll be heading out to Brussels. Next down here we have this airBaltic A220-300. This one is in the 100th A220 livery, and the actual aircraft is just in the regular livery, of course. This one arrived in from Barcelona, and it will be heading out to Vienna. So, very nice start here. Starting in the B gates today, and then we'll progress our way over to the other side. Definitely have some unusual aircraft in today's update. So, yeah, stay tuned for the end of the update for those aircraft. All right, and up next here, I want to give this aircraft its own little unique segment here in the airport because this is a very unique visitor here. This is the Hapag-Lloyd 737-800, obviously not operated by Hapag-Lloyd. This is operated by Enter Air. This is filling in for Enter Air 737-800. This is kind of like my common use 738 for whenever I need one. But the aircraft used to be operated by an airline that was in the TUI family, and Hapag-Lloyd used to be in the TUI family. So that's kind of fun right there. But yeah, this is filling in for Enter Air 737-800, and they normally do not fly into Riga, but I guess a special circumstance today. Charter of some sort, I presume. It arrived in from Katowice, something like that. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Sorry if I mispronounced it. I'll be heading out to Santiago. I assume that's not the Chile Santiago, and that's definitely somewhere else because the 737-800 could not fly out to Chile. But yes, very, very interesting aircraft here. Not sure why this visited or if this will be a consistent visitor now because over the next 2 days at least there are scheduled flights out of Riga on the Enter Air 737-800. So maybe this will be a consistent thing in these airport updates, and so that'll be pretty cool if that does come to fruition. But if not, this is a pretty cool one-off here on this Hapag-Lloyd / Enter Air 737-800, and hopefully we see it back here in Riga. But yeah, very unique visitor, and one of the main reasons that I want to do this airport update is the visit of this aircraft right here. But yes, now I'll move on to the other side of the B gates. Taxiing out right here, we have this airBaltic Fokker 50. And of course, these are not operated anymore by airBaltic, but I wanted to throw it in here, like in every airport update, just because there have only been 5 1-400 models of airBaltic ever produced, so you don't have a whole lot of optionality, I guess, when it comes to putting airBaltic models in these airport updates. So here's the airBaltic Fokker 50, and of course the old retro livery. This one arrived in from Rome, Italy. Maybe it's a little bit too far for the Fokker 50, but it will be heading out on a realistic route that this one would have made out to Berlin. So Yeah, very nice right here. This one is currently taxiing out, as I said. We'll be heading out to Berlin in Germany. All right, and now to the other side of the B gates here, beginning with the airBaltic A220-300 there in the Latvian 100th anniversary livery, which is the actual aircraft that flew on this flight. So that's very cool right there, getting the actual aircraft in the airport, and it is a pretty nice livery here, celebrating 100 years of independence for the country of Latvia. And this one arrived in from Copenhagen, and we will be heading back out there. Rare turn for airBaltic. Normally we don't see turnarounds on airBaltic, but that is what we see today for this aircraft. Behind it we see the 737-800 for Ryanair. And this one arrived in from Cologne in Germany, and it will be heading out to Aarhus. I'm not sure where that is actually. It is in Denmark. Aarhus with 2 A's, RHUS, and the airport code is Alpha Alpha Romeo. So very cool right there. Did not know that that was served from Riga. So pretty cool to get that flight in there, and that is what this Ryanair 737-800 is doing. And now into the C gates, beginning with this airBaltic A220-300 right here in the older livery here, but still the regular one. They are slowly repainting these into the newer livery, which is very similar, but it is slightly different. But this is the older variant of the two airBaltic liveries that are currently being operated. This one arrived in from Sharm el Sheikh, Egypt, and it'll be heading out to Helsinki. Now, this was probably a charter flight, or a repo flight or something, because the flight number was 7772, which is not a regular airBaltic flight number. So probably a charter of some sort. There are a lot of charters out of Riga to Sharm el Sheikh, Egypt, but mostly not on airBaltic. In fact, they're always on an airline like SkyUp or something like that. Or, well, I guess we'll see one later today on another charter airline. Totally not on airBaltic, though, so it is a little bit curious why it is on the A220-300 here for airBaltic, but that is what we see here. So I assume some sort of charter for them, but that is pretty cool to see right there. A little bit of an unusual route for airBaltic, and that is how we'll start the C gates. And right here we have this Turkish Airlines A330-200. Now, this, of course, is not a realistic aircraft to serve this airport. Unfortunately, it is the only Turkish model that I have, so I have to kind of use it here. It is filling in for a MAX 8, though. At some point, I would like to get a more realistic Turkish aircraft to use for this route, but this is all that we have for now, so we'll just say it's subbing in for a MAX 8, but that would be quite the upgrade if that were happening in real life. But yeah, this one arrived in from Istanbul, of course, and you'll be heading back out to Istanbul today. And here we have the blank A320, not A220, or not on airBaltic anymore. Here we have a blank A320 charter, public charter from Heston Airlines. This one arrived in from Sharm el Sheikh, Egypt as well. This one is a more typical public charter flight that we see here on Heston Airlines, that they would be the ones flying to Sharm el Sheikh and not airBaltic. Yeah, currently no information on where this aircraft will be heading out to later, but my best guess is probably Hurghada. They do a lot of flights out there. Or actually, if we look back at the flight history, it kind of does a trio of destinations. It looks like it does Sharm el Sheikh, Funchal, and Hurghada. So it looks like this one will be heading out to Funchal next, actually. So that will likely be happening tomorrow. And that's pretty cool as the Madeira airport. So they have a pretty cool runway out there, to say the least. So I'm assuming that is where this aircraft will be heading off to next, to Funchal. Also famous for being the island that Cristiano Ronaldo was from. And so that's pretty cool. And so yeah, cool to see this aircraft in here. This is also actually reminding me of another cool news thing that's happening here in Riga. So if you remember back to last summer, I flew on actually a Carpatair A319 that was leased by airBaltic, and they are doing that again this year. They have acquired the two A319s from Carpatair again they've leased them for their summer travel, because it's in demand. Flights to Riga are in demand in the summer, more so than the winter, because obviously in the winter the weather here is quite terrible. But yeah, cool to see Carpatair back, and I'm going to try to make a custom, at least a temporary custom from my American A319 and the America West livery because it's pretty similar. If I just stick a Carpatair logo on the tail, then I think it'll get the job done. But that will be something to look forward to in the future updates. But I was reminded by my custom A320 right here. So yeah, look forward to seeing that in the future, and good to see that Carpatair is back in Riga. I guess it's just going to be another one of those rambly airport updates today. But these are our final 2 aircraft here. We will begin with the A220-300 here in the Estonian flag livery. This is actually filling in for the Lithuanian flag livery. So getting some nice representation there for our other Baltic states here. That's very nice right here. I do prefer the Estonian livery over the Lithuanian one, though. So sorry to any Lithuanians out there, but the Estonians have, I will admit, they've also bested Latvia. So yeah, very, very nice livery right here. This arrived in from Istanbul, Turkey, and it will be ironically heading out to Vilnius in Lithuania. So that's kind of it's kind of rough to our Lithuanians there that I'm replacing their aircraft with the Estonian flag livery, and then I'm sending it out to their airport. So sorry to the Lithuanians, I guess, for that. But yeah, unfortunately, there is no model of the Lithuanian flag livery. And if someone does make it, I will definitely pick it up. But unfortunately, that does not exist yet. Anyways, behind that one we have. So I guess that's kind of a triple whammy for the Lithuanians. Anyways, our final aircraft here is the Wizz Air A321neo. This is filling in for an A320 today. This one arrived in from Kutaisi and will be heading back out there, and that is the only route that we see on Wizz Air these days at Riga, even though at one time they were the 3rd largest airline here. So it's kind of sad to see that their demise here at Riga, but I'm glad that they still have one route here that we can show with this A321neo. And yes, that is our final aircraft in today's update. So yeah, thank you all for checking out this Riga airport update. Hope you enjoyed this one. I know this was probably a little bit longer than the usual Riga update, but this was definitely a fun one considering we got a whole bunch of unique airlines, and definitely the summer months will definitely be a little bit more interesting here in Riga because normally they are. So yeah, stay tuned for the summer months, and hopefully they'll be some more fun updates. But yeah, with that being said, I'll see you tomorrow. As always, good night. Auf Wiedersehen.